Okay, so today we are going to be working on the Lexus some more, but first I'm going to go work out, go to the gym, get a little bit of food, a little bite to eat, and then we are going to start diagnosing. Okay, dude, just cut me off. We're going to go start diagnosing the sensors on the Lexus. So we're going to run a test with my multimeter on the coil packs and on the throttle position sensor, and then we're also going to take a look at the injectors because I have a suspicion that it's either going to be a coil pack or an injector issue, because if I'm not mistaken, I think the car was down a cylinder when I changed my spark plugs right after trying to drive the car. I put new plugs in the car, and one of the cylinders had smoke coming out of it, and I didn't have water in my oil, so I know it wasn't like steam from water mixing in the cylinder head. So we'll see. I think one of the cylinders was down a cylinder, so maybe one of my fuel injectors is messed up. I don't know. We'll get into it once I get back from the gym though. Okay guys, so as you know, as goes the luck of me and my cars and my channel, my multimeter that I have fucking broke. Haven't used it in about a year. Kept it inside, wasn't wet. Well, the batteries that it came with exploded inside the casing and ruined like all of the wires on the inside, blew the little thermistor thing, the jiggy, and then one of the little diode caps inside of it just broke. It's all fucked up. I was wondering why it wasn't working. I tried to swap the batteries and opened the back and found out that the entire thing was basically exploded in battery acid on the inside. So that's cool. So unfortunately, in this video, we are not going to be able to test the sensors, so we'll have to hold off on that one, but I will take the coil packs back out, and I'm going to try to take the fuel injectors out as well, so we can get a visual inspection on all of that stuff, and maybe just eyeball if anything's wrong or visibly busted. I didn't really look at the coil packs too much whenever I took the spark plugs out. So we'll take those out. I know that 2JZ coil packs are known to develop small cracks in them, and that's enough to make them misfire and run like shit. So maybe that's the issue here, not entirely sure. But not going to be able to test the sensors, that we'll have to hold that off until this weekend, because I don't have time to go back to town today and get another one, and I work tomorrow. Today is Thursday. You guys will probably be watching this tomorrow on Friday. Well, this weekend I will go and get another multimeter and we will test this stuff, or maybe see if I can't borrow one so I don't have to buy one. But either way, gonna go ahead and tear down the fuel injectors out of here. I have the little cap thing that holds them in. I have that taken off, and it shouldn't be a big issue to get the coil packs out as well. So we'll go ahead and start working on that now. Okay, these are my coil packs in order. I mean, honestly, they look fine. Truthfully, they look pretty new, actually. I don't know if maybe, because like, when I got this engine, it had paperwork that it only had maybe about 57,000 miles on it. I've maybe put 15,000 on it myself. Like, there were maintenance records from about 57,000 miles. So like, these may have been changed relatively recently. I'm not entirely sure, but I mean, they look fine. So, I don't know. I don't think it's my coil packs. So, on to pulling out the fuel injectors. Okay, so, I don't know if this is potentially the problem here, but I did notice this. So, I have taken out all of the fuel injectors and just kind of have them laying in the cylinders. Nothing looks really out of place, except when I pulled this one. This is cylinder 6. When I pulled this out, if you look, I don't know if I'll be able to get it on camera. Do you see right there, there's an O-ring stuck inside that cylinder. But there is still the O-ring on the end of the fuel injector. Now, none of the other ones were like that, so it may have been causing a blockage. I don't really know, and I don't really know why that would be there, because there's nothing like that in any of the other ones. I'm not well versed enough in the stock fuel system on the fuel rail of this car to know, but it looks to me like potentially we may have had a blockage in cylinder 6, and that might be why it was acting up, because car was acting like it was dying from fuel. So I almost want to put all this shit back together and drive it and see if maybe that was the problem, because I did not have this issue with this car until after I replaced my fuel lines. So I added this back here. I'll show you guys. You can't really see it because it's tucked underneath the main coil harness, but if you see that AN plug at the end, I added an adapter that adapts the rear of the fuel rail to accept an AN line. And then I just built AN lines, fuel lines to from my fuel pressure regulator back to the engine as the return, and then the fuel feed to the back of the fuel rail. Well, I took the injectors out and the rail out and all of that stuff and cleaned everything before I put those lines on, and I didn't have this problem until I switched to these lines. So in my dumbassery, I may have accidentally left that in there or put that there. I don't really know, but I'm gonna do a little bit more investigating into the other lines to see if that's supposed to be there. I don't think it is, but we'll see. Okay, so we have a problem. I don't know if it's the problem, but we definitely have a problem that needs to be fixed. And I'm going to end this video with this because I know that this is not right, so I definitely want to fix this regardless. So let's go ahead and talk about it. I have all of the injector ports blocked off right now because the injectors are probably going to stay out of this car for a little while. I also have the throttle bodies or the intake runners blocked off as well while the intake manifold is off. But let's talk about this. This O-ring was inside one of the cylinders for the fuel injection cylinder. In one of the on the fuel rail. This was in runner 6. Half of these injectors have a fuel injector. I mean, half of these injectors have an O-ring on it, or half of them don't. And then not only that, if you look, half of them have an O-ring on the top, and half of them don't. So they all had fuel in the cylinders when I pulled them out. So fuel, they were all pumping fuel, but the O-rings are disintegrated, I guess, on half of them, or just not there, and they are on the other half. And I'm assuming they're supposed to be there. I don't know if I put them there whenever I uninstalled these things and reinstalled them when I did my fuel lines. So I'm going to try to speak to any sort of 2JZ professionals that I can find on Instagram, like some shops or something, and ask them what this is supposed to look like, because I know that Toyota sells an O-ring kit for these injectors. I just don't know which O-rings it comes with, because if you look, there's an upper and lower O-ring as well. So I don't even fucking know how many O-rings these things are supposed to have on them. Yeah. So I'm going to get in contact with the shop, and I'm going to see about that, because that could more than likely cause our issue, or at least I think it would. Because like I said, this car was acting like it was cutting out, not getting enough fuel in one of the cylinders. Maybe it was acting like it was down a cylinder. I don't really even know, man. This car could have a bunch of issues. I know I'm gonna get bigger injectors, and I got an ECU ordered as well, but it's going to be so long before I can get that actually done on the car, because I still gotta buy a harness, and I still gotta find somebody that can tune it. And I know that a lot of the bigger shops, more reputable shops, have a waiting period, because I'm going to have to get this car remote tuned. I'm here in Mississippi. There is nowhere to take this thing to get tuned. I don't have a trailer. I don't have a truck. And the closest place that I can think of to where I'm at that may be able to tune it would either be Mobile, Alabama, or Atlanta, Georgia. And yeah, so if you're in the Gulf Coast area or just the general South and you know anybody that tunes these things, hit me up with some suggestions. I can maybe go ahead and start getting in contact with some of these shops. But either way, I need to talk to these people and figure out if this is actually a problem. I'm assuming it's a problem, because if they're supposed to be there and they're not there, I imagine there's a reason that there's an O-ring for that. So anyway, yeah. So let me know in the comments what you guys think about this. And other than that, subscribe if you're just now checking into the channel. Like the videos, please. It helps a lot. Glad to be making videos again. Like I said, we got a bunch more stuff on the way, just to give you guys a hint. I do have the standalone computer system coming. I have an ECU Master Black. I have a Willwood Clutch Master cylinder that's on the way, because this factory one's too small. And then I also have a hood prop kit with hood struts for the corners, so that way I don't have to use this dingy old thing. So that'll be a fun little install video as well. And yeah, so anyways, that's it. Thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you all have a great day. Add me on Instagram. Message me if you have any questions at mellow_2jz. Other than that, guys, see you guys later. Peace.